Two Britons arrested in the Barents Sea after a Greenpeace protest at an offshore oil platform have been denied bail in Russia. Freelance journalist Kieran Bryan and activist Philip Ball are among 6 Britons charged with piracy. Today, a court in Murmansk ruled they must stay in pre-trial detention until the end of November, as Jane Death reports.
Kieran, we're here with you.
Kieran Bryan, pale and handcuffed, is led into court. In the dock, there's a brief word with his lawyers before they try to persuade the Russian judge to grant him bail.
My name is Kieran Bryan.
Mr. Bryan, a video journalist, may well have filmed these pictures of Greenpeace activists trying to scale an oil platform belonging to Russia's state energy firm, Gazprom. Now 30 people on board Greenpeace's Arctic Sunrise have been charged with piracy, which could mean 15 years in prison. Kieran Bryan's lawyer argued that since an oil platform is not a ship, piracy is the wrong charge. The judge was not persuaded. Bail was refused. The same went for Greenpeace activist Phil Ball, also in court today. Both men were back to their cells, where they're kept for 23 hours a day. Russell Bryan says his brother is a journalist, not a protester, and shouldn't be facing any charges. The family hasn't been allowed to talk to him. Seeing the pictures today was a shock.
When he goes in with the handcuffs on and he's put into a metal box, which is padlocked, and I think that's really hard.
Was Kieran a bit naive in thinking the Russians were going to discriminate between the fully paid-up members of Greenpeace and what he was doing? I mean, this is Russia, it's not Switzerland.
It's difficult. I don't want to call him naive because he's much smarter than I am. But at the same time, you know, I think he could have looked at. They did the exact same protest last year, and nothing happened to them. You know, he probably felt there was a small risk. What it feels like at the moment, the Russians have boarded the boat. They've arrested absolutely everyone on the boat, and to justify that, they've used this charge of piracy in it, and it feels very unfair.
These 4 Britons have their bail hearings next week. William Hague's spoken to Russia's foreign minister, but there's been no softening of the Russian position. Today, the foreign ministry called the Greenpeace protesters dangerous. And if the courts take this tougher line on bail, it doesn't look good for any trial.